everyone, and welcome back to the Commercial Law School. Thank you for tuning in to this week's video. Today's video is about how to answer competency-based questions. There are many different competencies that firms may look for, depending on what kind of values they prioritize. So we have decided to cover 5 key competencies. These are teamwork, leadership, time management, going above and beyond, and innovation. So, how do you talk about teamwork in a competency-based interview? Lawyers often have to engage in teamwork to complete a project. This is a skill they will be looking for in prospective candidates. They may ask you questions like the ones on the screen. They are all essentially the same question reformulated. So you could get asked about a time you worked in a team to achieve a goal. As stated in many of our previous videos, use the STAR technique to structure your answers. This stands for situation, task, action, result, and reflection. The most important thing is to highlight what your role in the team was. You need to set yourself apart from the rest of the team and highlight what you contributed to the joint effort. When considering the task and the action, there are many examples you could use. For example, if you boosted morale and kept everybody enthusiastic, if you kept the team organised and on track, or if you presented ideas or even adopted a leadership position. Don't forget to link it back to the role of a lawyer. For example, as we've just mentioned, lawyers often work in teams, so this skill is useful. Consider how your input brought about a positive result. And how did your work affect the overall team? And how did people react to your work and to your ideas? Did you help the team as a whole improve the goal? What did you learn about teamwork from this experience? Now let's look at leadership. Law firms like to see that you can be trusted to be held accountable. They may ask you to describe a time you showed leadership. Here are more examples of questions that they can ask you surrounding leadership and responsibility. For the situation, consider what was the context where you had to exercise leadership. Was the role given to you or did you volunteer for it? How did you actually lead the team and take on significant responsibility? One example of doing this is delegating roles suited to everybody's skills. Now, it's time to move on and have a look at time management. Lawyers are usually juggling many tasks and projects simultaneously and are expected to deliver each one on time and to a good standard. You may be asked one of these questions. When considering the situation, outline what the tasks were and highlight how important each task was. Talk about the deadlines and the time pressures that were put on you. Next, show your thought process behind how you allocated time to each project. The main skill they will be looking for here is prioritization. How did you prioritize each task based on its importance and how long it would take? Don't forget to note down any resources you used to help you organize yourself, whether this be an iPhone note or a calendar reminder or even writing in your diary. Talk about what the result of your time management was and quantify this if you can. For example, you were 10% more efficient. Now, we're going to take a look at what it means to go above and beyond. If you get asked a question about going the extra mile, or making sacrifices to achieve a goal, or keeping promises in the face of adversity, these are all above and beyond questions, as we like to call them. Firms expect you to go above and beyond to meet client needs and deadlines, so this is a very common interview question. Make sure you demonstrate how you chose an unusual course of action and really stretched yourself to achieve a goal. They're looking for people who are determined and hardworking. Explain the process of your decision making. Again, consider the result. Were you able to save the day? Were you able to fulfill a promise that you kept despite all the challenges? And make sure you reflect on your actions. Let's move on to innovation, which is something I'm sure you've heard lots of law firms talk about. The main thing that you're showing when considering innovation is finding a new way or a more effective way of doing something and presenting new ideas. So these kinds of questions are quite common. Outline the situation that required an innovative response, and then talk about how you convinced other people to come around to your way of thinking and to adopt your new ideas. Make sure you link it to the role of a lawyer who needs to be innovative to improve client service. So today we have looked at 5 key competencies: leadership, time management, going above and beyond, teamwork, and last but not least, innovation. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out the City Career Series' new training contract and pupillage handbook, which will be in the description below. As always, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in our next video.